Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cinemaxxers. I'm Adam alongside my co-host Yoni and Joseph. This was the first video being uploaded post the Odyssey review. That was our second movie review here on the channel. And it's finally time for mine and possibly both of these, I don't know, definitely my most anticipated episode on this podcast. After we did our top fours and introductions, the first one I asked if we could do is a Christopher Nolan ranking. And Yoni's immediate response is, we got to wait till the Odyssey. And I'm like, you know what? I fully agree with you. So we waited till the Odyssey. We watched the generational movie yesterday, and it is now time to rank the greatest ever director's filmography, the greatest filmography from a director ever. It is time for the Christopher Nolan rankings. Are we ready?
We are. Let's do it.
All right, how we're going to be doing this is instead of going from 13 to 1 on each of our lists, we came up with an idea that would be a little bit less disjointed. So we're not talking about different movies at the same time. We're going to go chronologically through his filmography, and we're going to place it where we have it on the list. So it's going to start with this first and end with the Odyssey. And you'll see the list kind of fill out. You'll be like, oh, this person only has these plots left. I wonder what it is. And it'll be pretty interesting and very fun. And we'll talk briefly about each of the movies as well. All right. I'm going ahead and share my screen here. Hold up. Give me a sec. And share. All right. So, here's how it's going to work. We just described all three of ours are going to be up here. I put tiers on mine because I'm very particular about my Nolan list. I think everything within the tiers are pretty much interchangeable. But again, I'm very particular about my Nolan list, so I had to put that there. Other than that, you'll see the 1 through 13. And we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. And we're going to start with Nolan's first film. We're going to spend very little time on this one because for everyone that hasn't watched it, Nolan's first film, Following, has a budget of $6,000. Um, I gave this film a rating. I did not, or sorry, I gave this film a review. I did not give it a rating because it has a $6,000 budget. I've never watched a movie with this little of a budget. Yoni did give it a rating. It was at 3.5. It looks like he's changed it down to 3. Um, so how we're gonna do it is we're gonna say where we have it on the list, and then we're gonna discuss it. So I have it at my number 13. Yoni,
I have it at number 12.
you have it at number 12, and Joseph.
I haven't seen it, so
Oh
it's
wait,
the
sorry.
de
Yeah, I
facto
apologize.
13. I don't
Okay.
want to make an assumption if it would be, but I
Yeah.
feel like it is hard to eclipse the top 12 given that budget. But
Yep.
I thought
Yeah.
both
So
Adam and I both watched it super recently.
exactly.
I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was really cool, and I thought the like kind of crime relationship between our
Mhm.
two, I don't remember
Two
the
main
character,
characters.
the
Yeah.
two main guys
Yeah.
was super cool. And you can definitely see like elements of Memento in this. You can see some elements of some other movies. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a very short movie. So,
Yep.
I do think that if this was like a 2 hour movie, I would have lost. I would have found myself losing, like
Yeah.
not being able to
Yeah. I lost
watch it.
interest at some points, and it was only an hour 10. So yeah,
I don't really love that it's black and white. I feel like
me
there was
neither.
not much of a reason, especially it's 1998. I think that might be due to the budget that it's in
It
black.
was due to the budget. Yeah, he couldn't have a.
So I don't know. It's unfair to kind of judge this among a
That's
lot of
exactly what I was
others,
saying.
but I do think it's a good movie. I don't think this is a miss. I don't think this is like a great directorial debut. But overall, relatively positive thoughts, and I would say that this is a good movie. And if you are a Christopher Nolan fan at home watching, I think you should definitely give this movie a watch just to see where all this greatness started from.
Yeah, you can definitely see why they gave him a shot with his next film, which ended up completely jumpstarting his career. And again, I don't have this as a star rating because I just don't think it's fair to give a movie that has a $6,000 budget a star rating. I think that the acting was subpar, and the audio wasn't great, and it was obviously in black and white. But the actual writing and the overall theme, like the things that Christopher Nolan could definitely control, was really good. And this movie had great parts of it. It also had some parts where it lost me. So you can actually see right here, if you look at my cursor on this background scene, I still don't know if this was like a nod that he wanted to do Batman or not, but this is just, it was so cool to see when I was watching. I'm like, no way, there's a Batman. And then he ended up filming Batman trilogy. I don't know. That's just a little nugget. That's why I made it my background. But yeah, following Yoni's number 12 and Joseph and I's my 13, and Joseph hasn't watched, so we're just gonna throw it in there at 13 for him. Okay. Um After Christopher Nolan did following, he immediately got a chance for a big movie, and that movie was Memento, made in the year 2000 on the dot. So I'm going to quickly pull it up, and we'll talk about it. But first, I'm going to first say I have Memento on my list at number 8. Or sorry. I don't know. This is crazy. I have it at number 9. Apologies. You guys?
I have it at number 7.
Okay.
I have Memento at number 8.
Okay. All right. So it seems like we don't have too many disagreements, which means this discussion will hopefully not drag out too long. But yeah, let's talk about Memento. Um,
I
this
think,
is uh,
yeah,
this is Christopher Nolan at his most Christopher Nolan, if you know what I mean. He loves using the aspect of time, um, however he wants, and bends it to his will. And he does exactly that in this film. This probably won't do any. Do we want to do spoilers in this movie or in
I
this
think
in this video?
spoilers for every Nolan movie.
There will be spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about spoilers. Just I mean, overall, the concept that you just have no clue what's going on and you find things out with the main character was such a cool concept to me. I have this at a 4 star. I'm not sure what you guys have. I actually think we did say we were going to put star ratings next to it, Yoni.
I don't think we need to, but we
We
I
can
don't
don't
need
just
think we need
say,
to.
Okay.
we can say how
I think
what
it's
we
just
have in
clutter.
the
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I have Memento at a 4 star, and I love the fact that you found things out with the character. It was such
I
a cool
mean,
concept.
I honestly thought this was beyond impressive the way that this story was told. And exactly like Adam said, where you're finding things out with the character, where you're being where scenes like almost start with a cliffhanger is super cool.
Yeah,
This is a great movie. I think that one kind of I guess you could say negative about it that I have that I didn't find myself loving as much. I found it a little bit hard to find myself liking any of these characters. I thought that most of the characters in it were kind of like mean and dislikable. Obviously, I'm talking more so about the side characters, but also the main guy. You're kind of just figuring the story out with him. Um, I think that this was a really, really impressive second movie, and like it shows some of Christopher Nolan's best work in terms of like his pure ability from a storytelling perspective.
yeah, and I think this movie has a theme that we're going to see a lot, and that's like Joseph has this at 4.5, and both of us have this at 4, and you see where this is on our rankings. So it just goes to show like the overall consistency, like us putting this at 8, 9, and
Seven?
yeah, at 7, 8, and 9 just goes to show like it's not a bad movie just because it's in the middle to lower part of the rankings.
No, I think it's a great movie. I think the way the story unravels is like pretty brilliant. I think the twist at the end is I didn't see it coming. I know some people say they saw it coming, but
I never saw it coming.
I didn't see it coming. So to me, that was like a huge reveal that like bumped the movie up like a whole half star to me. And especially when you consider like how early of a movie this is, literally a second movie, his first movie with a real budget. It's
Yep.
insanely impressive, and so I think it's a super creative idea as well. So I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that was Memento. So after Memento, yes, I did a little bit of research for this movie. After Memento, big studios started to notice Christopher Nolan, and this is when he pulled in some legendary cast members for his next movie in 2002, Insomnia, a crime thriller. Um, or detective thriller is a better way of putting it. So I have this as my number 12 in Christopher Nolan's second worst, but it's important to note this is in the same tier as Memento for me, which is a little bit of a hot take. So that's what I'm going to
That's like
say about that. I
fucking
considered
insane.
putting it in tier five, but I have this in the same tier as Memento.
For me, Memento or Insomnia is a 3 star at number 11. So once again, a good movie. Um, well, I'll say what I have to say after Joseph, you know.
I'm kind of torn on these next two spots. I know what I have it on my actual ranking.
Then just give us your actual ranking.
I'll put Insomnia at 11, but it could be 12. Because at least 12 will get, you don't know what my 12 is, but it's more memorable for sure.
Okay, so Insomnia. Joseph, you watched it for the first time with me, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, Insomnia is a movie that Joseph and I watched recently. And when I say recently, about like 8 months ago or so.
something like that.
And Yoni, when did you watch Insomnia?
Probably around the same time.
Yeah.
I
So
was in intro.
yeah, this is not one of the movies that you like think of first when it comes to Christopher Nolan, and it's a bit shocking because you think Christopher Nolan, Al Pacino, and Robin Williams. How could this not be that like crazy memorable? And it was simply because one, it was an adaptation of another movie, and some people didn't think it adapted it very well. But number two, a lot of people just didn't love the dialogue premise of the movie. I really liked it. I thought that, and again, I really liked it, and it's still at number 12. I have this at 4 star. I think 12 of Nolan's 13 movies are a 4 star and above, which just goes to show how consistent he is. He just doesn't miss. But would say this belongs in a tier with Memento because one, the ending scene is just so good for me. I love that final showdown. I don't know why, like, I wouldn't say you hate on it, Joseph, but like
It's a bit
when I
cliche
watched
in my opinion.
what?
It's a bit cliche in my
I
opinion.
just thought it was so well done. And I like that you were just as drowsy and feeling the insomnia just as Al Pacino's character did. I also think this is one of Al Pacino's best ever
I
performances.
think it's his worst performance
That's
ever
just
that
an
I've
awful
seen. I
take.
haven't seen like Jack and Jill, but
This is one of his
which I
best
know.
performances of all time.
I think it's his worst performance.
Adam, I'm not gonna lie, you like can't say that. That
I
is a
absolutely can.
He's seen two, you've seen like three
How many
of them.
Pacino movies have you seen?
The Godfather,
Okay.
He
Heat,
Insomnia, Heat.
Insomnia.
That's three.
and it's the worst of those
I've
three
seen
easily.
Ocean's 13.
Okay, hold
I've
on. Just
seen,
stay on that page. Just stay on that page for a second. I'm gonna name movies you haven't seen where he gives a million times better performance. Scarface is like one of the best performances ever. Godfather Part 2, Dog Day Afternoon are all like unbelievable. I think he's so much better in Scent of a Woman. I think he's better than The Devil's Advocate. I think
He's way
in
better in The Insider too.
he's better in The Insider. He's
oh wait,
better
I've
in
watched four.
Way. Okay,
Oh
I'm
wait,
not
that
gonna
includes Ocean's 13.
like that you cannot say that take, dude. That's kind of crazy.
Well, for me, out of all of his performances, I think he's better in this movie than he's in Heat. I think I
Okay,
can attest.
That's
that is
insane.
that okay. First of all, that is okay to say because you're saying at least in your opinion. But when you say it's his best performance
Okay,
ever, when
fine. It's his best performance that I've seen. I
perfect, no
think
You
I
think
think
problem.
it's
Al
but you
Pacino's
think it's a
better in this
better
movie than he is
performance
in
than in
Heat.
Godfather.
I mean, I obviously I have problems with
I
that
have
take.
so many
That
critiques
is
with the acting in Godfather, but
the
What? It's like the one of the best acted movies
then
ever.
that's why I completely disagree. I think it's the most overrated acting. Well, overrated in general because people think
I
it's the
mean,
best movie ever. But we're not talking about The Godfather. Um, so yeah, I thought it was great. He portrayed exactly what it's like to be up in what it was Alaska, right?
yeah.
Yeah, to be up in Alaska where the sun literally never sets. And I loved like this part. I made it my background as well. This is probably like, one of my favorite parts of the movie when they're chasing after who they think the killer is. And then he accidentally shoots his own partner. It's just like a really cool movie, and I think this is very good, but sadly it's 12.
I
I
think
think
it's
he
good.
overacts his drowsiness.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good. I just think that unlike Memento, it plays everything so safe and it feels pretty
Shooting
generic.
his own what? Shooting his own
Especially,
partner is safe?
I think the
I
movie's
mean,
just
it's a
I
remake of
don't
an
think you remember
overrated
most of the
film,
movie.
and
I do. I'm
it
saying like
doesn't really like the ending is
it
pretty
didn't do
safe.
anything that special, and also like Pacino's relationship with like the female like cop in training is like super generic. Like I just think it's relatively
Yeah, I
generic.
don't think Hilary Swank is that good in this movie either.
I like nothing super memorable, and like Pacino's in this, and he's not memorable in my opinion. and he's my favorite actor of all time. So like I think it's good, but I think it just doesn't really do anything from a creative standpoint that's like great, or really from like a storytelling perspective that's great. Like this is not one of the best like murder mysteries,
I don't
like
know.
not even close in my
I
opinion.
think I like it overall because I think the premise is pretty interesting, and I do think that like the way it look, I think it looks pretty good for most of the movie, and I think Robin Williams is pretty good, even though I think the script doesn't fully like give his character the best explanation or motivations. But yeah, I think it's a low 3.5 for me. But
Yeah.
It's a like a solid three for me. It's like a
Yeah.
strong three.
Again, I know
but
it's a hot take to say it's in the same tier as Memento, but I really do think they are in the same tier.
to
I
me,
still give
Memento is
Mementos
in
a
the
few
same
spots lower.
tier. Well, we'll see. I don't really have exact tiers, but I could have put it higher.
But yeah. Okay. All right. So after this, Nolan officially started the greatest trilogy of all time.
You didn't do the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Wrong again. And he started the Dark Knight trilogy with Batman Begins in a movie that I hadn't watched in a while until recently. But first, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give all of our spots. I'm putting this in my tier three. It's the first of my elite movies. Nolan has eight elite movies for me, and this is unfortunately the lowest of the elite movies. So I have it number eight.
I have it number seven out of four with I have it 4 stars.
Okay.
I have it at 8.
Okay. So similar spots, but I think we have slightly different in terms of how much we like it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a pretty great origin story. The first hour is probably my favorite in like the actual origin story itself. I think it's a pretty great depiction of both Bruce Wayne and Batman. I think Scarecrow is like a solid villain. I don't think he's anything like super tremendous. I really, really love the parts with Raj Al Ghul and him training with Raj Al Ghul, and
On the ice and yeah.
I think it's really great. I think it's a great Batman movie, and then we'll get into it more. It's not the best Batman movie, but it is really great, and he did a great job with this. Like, I think it was pretty perfect for what it was trying to be.
Yeah. When I first watched this movie, I had it at 4 stars. Again, that was me going back and rating it. But the reason why I just recently moved this into my elite tier film as a 4.5 star movie is the visual aspect of this movie. I forgot how stunning this looked. Um, First, the whole setting with the snow was just gorgeous. Some of those shots, the wide shots, the shots of them fighting on the ice, amazing. This shot right here is arguably the best. Probably not. It's one of the best shots in the entire trilogy. With the lighting in the background, you can only see his shadow. He's overlooking the city. I just, I've always thought the plot of this movie was good. For
I mean,
me,
yeah,
the visuals put it
It's
over the top.
Batman.
Sorry.
It's a Batman origin story. Like, that's obviously a good plot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I've always thought the plot was good, but the visuals put it over the top into my elite tier, and yeah, 4.5 star movie.
I
So
mean, I feel like, maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't remember the visuals being like amazing. I remember them being good. I don't know if I recall them being like fully stunning, but I guess that's a matter of opinion. No, I think this is a great origin story, one of the best, superhero comic book origin stories. I really like Ra's al Ghul as a villain. I feel like some people I think sometimes he gets overshadowed by the other villains in this trilogy, but I do think he's one of the best easily. Um,
yeah,
you
Liam
obviously
Neeson
have
does
the
great
Joker,
with that
which we
role.
can talk about later, but like
Yeah,
I don't know, outside of the Joker, he might be my favorite in this trilogy. I think Liam Neeson is pretty great as Ra's al Ghul as well, and I think also Cillian Murphy's pretty good as Scarecrow. So I think this is a really good movie, if not a great movie.
yeah. Okay. All right. Some context here. A fun fact: it took Nolan 3 years to do three movies. Two of them were Batman movies. He did two Batman movies in 3 years, with a movie in between that we're about to mention. It's taking Matt Reeves 6 years to do one Batman movie. So I just want to say the next three movies, including this one, so this three span was in a 3 year span. Insane that he was able to do that in 3 years.
That is pretty crazy. Wait,
In
Batman
this,
And
Begins
Matt
was the
Reeves, I
Dark
trust
Knight?
that he's gonna do a good
I think it's
job,
gonna be good, but this is just the
but it's
delay is insane.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, this next movie came out probably like 1.5 to 1 3/4, but like year wise, officially, it came out 1 year after Batman Begins in 2006, and it was in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and that is The Prestige. Um, The Prestige is a movie that I hadn't even heard of until like the middle of high school, and I'm so damn glad that I've heard of it. I adore The Prestige, and for me, it's at the top of his 4.5 star, um, in the top of my 4.5 star tier of tier three, and I have it at number six.
Yeah, I have the Prestige also at a 4.5 star. I have it at my number four.
Okay, wow.
I have it at my number three.
Okay, so yeah, the first top three movie that we've seen, um, and two of us, I guess, have it at top five. I have it at number six. So yeah,
Top
um,
five, number six, of
yeah,
course.
one of you two can take the lead on this one if you want, because you have it
I
above.
mean, I can start because I have the highest. I think The Prestige is definitely one of Nolan's best movies. I think it's one of the best acted Nolan movies. I mean, off the top of my head, it's probably the second or third best acted Nolan movie. I think
Maybe.
you have like such a strong duo of Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, both who are obviously terrific actors. And I think they both do a great job of being sympathetic in their own ways, but also kind of, you know, very unlikable and irredeemable in a lot of ways. Obviously, this movie has a lot of twists and turns,
I mean, like
and
the
I think
twist is just generational, bro.
every single one of them is like pretty generational. What I will say, which I think Adam, we've talked about this and we agree with, is
Decide.
the thing
This
that
right here.
drops it down from the 5 stars is like the
Tesla?
Tesla
Yes,
side
the Tesla
plot
subplot. I
and
agree.
kind of where it goes into more kind of supernatural elements, I would say,
The
with
only thing
Hugh
holding it back from the
Jackman's
5 star.
character towards the last act of the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that also.
I kind of don't like that part. I feel like it is a bit out of place in the movie,
I
but
think
that's
this
just my
movie is super good though. I agree with everything Joseph said, and the negatives about it, you kind of put into words for me. But something that Nolan likes to do, and something I noticed very recently, is he likes to have two um male lead like male characters that are always like interacting with each other, even starting from his first movie Fallen with the two guys, and then literally with the
Insomnia.
Odyssey with Eurylochus and Odysseus, and then you also have stuff like Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman and Robert Pattinson and the other guy in Tenet, and
John D. So,
yeah. And I think this is the best like duo in a Christopher Nolan movie, like pretty easily with Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. I think this movie is like so great just from like a plot
when you
perspective.
say duo, you say protagonist duo.
I mean, I don't even know if you could call these guys protagonists, but just like
Batman Joker just mobs.
lead duo.
that's not really I
That's
mean, I guess
not
it
really
could
what I
be.
mean by that though, where two characters are constant. I guess Batman and Joker, yeah,
It's
sure.
the same
But
thing. They're conflicting, like in this movie.
yeah, sure.
But the Joker isn't like a
But
protagonist.
oftentimes there's two people that work together at times.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. I see what you mean.
Halloween and like in this. Well, Batman and Joker are obviously
Yeah.
against each.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale aren't like they're with each other a lot. Like sometimes they're nice to each other, you know.
This is just a classic story of obsession for me. Um, it's just amazing. The resent that Jackman's character had for Bale's character just could not figure out what the prestige of the trick was. And then for it to be revealed at the end, I mean, again, without the sci-fi, this Nolan would have 6 5 star films. Again, this is the top of my 4.5s. Again, I would say it's in the same tier as the other 4.5s, but like for me, this is like relatively clearly the best 4.5 one because the highs of this movie are so high.
All
So
right.
yeah, um, after the Prestige, 2 years later, um, The Dark Knight came out. The Dark Knight is the second of the Dark Knight trilogy, and I have this as the third best movie ever, but not the best movie on this list. I have The Dark Knight at number two on my Nolan list.
I have it as number one.
Yep.
I also have it as number one.
Completely respected. It is in my elite tier of Nolan.
I'm honestly thinking of putting this movie up to a 5 star. I have one slight
I
problem,
mean,
which I've
right?
said multiple times, but I mean, this is just like peak superhero movie. It's so good. Like, really everything that we've said about this movie and that everyone has said about it has been said. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just unbelievable, to be
Yeah.
honest.
We've talked about this movie a lot on this
But
channel.
I don't really love Rachel that much in the movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal's character. I don't really
There's
love,
nothing wrong with Rachel in this movie. It's
but
I don't think she's the best Rachel.
that's like nitpicking, you know.
yeah.
I don't think that's nitpicking. I think that's a valid thing to say.
I guess I could talk about this movie for hours. This is the third best movie ever made in the entire history of cinema, and that truly was confirmed by me when I rewatched this trilogy about 3 weeks ago. Every single scene in this movie is a banger. There is not a single off scene in this movie besides maybe right after the Harvey Dent trial where he takes the gun from the thug where they're talking in the office. That might be the one off scene in this entire movie. Every scene is legendary. I was like, surely there's going to be an off scene now. Next legendary scene, next legendary scene. It never takes a stop and it never stops being legendary. This is one of those cases where the opening scene is my second favorite opening scene ever, and it might not be the best part of the movie. Like the Joker is just so damn good. It has the best performance of all time with Heath Ledger as the Joker, in my opinion. The greatest performance, completely embodies the Joker for me. Again, that's why I struggled to watch the other Joker because I just couldn't
I don't
deal
know
with
if he's as
watching
good as
Heath
Jared Leto's Joker, but
yeah, I'm sure, bro. And yeah, and then obviously Two-Face, Aaron Eckhart held his own with there in the Joker. Even the scenes with Heath Ledger, he held his own. Um, yeah, top three movie of all time, literal cinema.
I like Jared Leto's Joker more. I agree with Joseph. I'd have to say.
All right. So with the same trend as after the last Batman movie, he did another movie in between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, and that was Inception. Inception, a dream thriller. We'll get into it, but I'll just start off by saying I have this as my number seven movie and a 4.5 star.
I have Inception at number 6 at a very strong 4 star.
I have Inception at 6 as like a mid to low 4.5. I was contemplating putting Memento above it, but I'll go with Inception at 6.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, Yoni. Actually, I mean, yeah, Joseph, you can take the lead on Inception here.
I think Inception is like pretty great. Especially, I think it's one of my favorite scores of all time, Hans Zimmer's score,
Ravi and I were just
Time.
talking about that this morning.
I also think that I love the ending, obviously, which does involve the score and the last shot. And I really like the different layers and how the kind of world is explained, or in the how incepting works, how the dream world works. The thing that holds this movie back,
The characters?
um, the characters and the performances, in my opinion. I think Leo is good, and that's about it.
I wouldn't say
I
the
think
performances. I would say it's the
I would say
characters.
the
For me,
performances.
it's the characters. I think the script let them down, but that's because it's such a monumentally unique topic that you just don't have time for the characters in a
Well,
movie like this.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about how much that part's true. Like, there's like people who like basically claim he like stole parts of the movie from a Japanese movie, but I don't
Okay.
really care about
Didn't
that. But
happen. Didn't happen.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go ahead and say it's like the most unique movie ever then.
Yeah, for
But
me, it's such a monumentally unique topic. You just don't have time for the characters. There's so much explaining to do with dream within a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. I mean, like, and then I thought the most underrated performance in this movie is Cillian Murphy.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, we talked about this. I don't remember when we talked about Inception, but we talked about that last time we talked about it. Yeah, Leo DiCaprio was a great lead in this movie, and I think the last part where after the snow planet, where he goes into the final dream with his wife, is just
I
amazing.
do think just to say one more thing before Yoni chimes in, and I maybe I'll talk about this a little bit with the next movie, but so part of my when I talk about performances is I personally don't really like Marion Cotillard as an actress. From the things I've seen her in. I haven't seen her. I know she's originally French, I believe, so perhaps she's better in the movies she's speaks French in instead of English. But from what I've seen her in, I don't really like her, and I think that's part of it. I don't really like care about the relationship between her and Cobb, Leo's character in this movie. I think it's like pretty weak compared to some of the other stuff in the movie. So
For
yeah.
me, I mean, the concept is just so brilliant. It's just it's so clearly an elite film for me. It's insane how someone could think of that.
Yeah, this concept is unbelievable and it's executed masterfully. I kind of just agree with what you guys said. The characters and the acting was pretty underwhelming in my opinion. Like, I think it was good, but I just don't think it elevated the film. It kind of just, this film is mostly the concept and idea. And I also think I feel like just because this concept is so crazy doesn't mean the like it's not an excuse for the characters to be underdeveloped. Like I do think they could have been done better. But I love it. It's a 4 star for me. It's a great movie for me. Maybe a 4.5. This also might be my number five. I'm kind of like on the fence of if I want to have this at number six on my ranking or five. So this is a very difficult ranking in general. But this is definitely one of Nolan's best. Like, if this is your favorite Nolan movie, I really don't have a problem with
Some
it.
people like
I
adore
would kind
this
of have a
movie.
problem with it.
Yeah, some people absolutely adore this movie. Like it's like one of their favorite movies ever,
It's
and
like my younger,
I could see why.
it's like my younger brother Benny's, I think, favorite movie ever.
Yeah, I could completely see why someone would think that.
I do think there's six Nolan movies or like
And like
five.
this scene right here, I mean, like it.
Also, the end scene, like from when time, the song "Time" kicks in at the end until the very end. That's like one of the best
That's the thing that I'm glad you
moments
mentioned and
like
Josie mentioned earlier. I think Time is the best original movie score, it's like song in a score of all time. That's my take.
Star Wars or
I think
like
Yeah,
so. I mean,
you could
Lord of
argue.
the Rings has about 4 or 5 better.
Okay, yeah, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings that I've watched. I just think Time is so good. I literally have it on my
I don't think
playlist.
it's like the best ever.
I
Yeah,
think it's I would put it in my
I
top
have
10.
Time on my
So
playlist. Like it's and another thing to mention, I put this for a reason. This scene walked, so the scene in Tenet could run. All right. All right, let's go next up. And finally, this movie, by the way, I just learned is like one of the biggest box office hits ever. Apparently, it made like way over $1 billion. Never knew this. But The Dark Knight Rises, the final movie in the Dark Knight trilogy. And again, I did watch this very recently, and unfortunately, it plummeted down my rankings. I used to have this around where Batman Begins was, if not over Batman Begins. And now I have it down at number 11.
I have it at number nine.
Okay.
I have it at number 10.
Okay. I'll just, I'll finish that at the end. So yeah, Yoni, you can
I
take
mean,
the
I
next one.
guess my biggest problem with it that is I'm the problem that I know that I think only I share, so I'll start with that. The main problem I have with this is I like Anne Hathaway's Catwoman a lot, but I think that she's kind of overpowered in it in the sense of when she's fighting. Like I think that there's a scene in the roof on a rooftop where her and Bruce are walking, or I guess her and like Batman, because he's in the Batman suit,
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
walking, like literally just walking, and they're talking, and Anne Hathaway is like with ease like knocking out 10 like guys that are swarming to attack them. Like she's literally just walking and she's just knocking them out and constantly like beating anyone in a fist to fist fight, which like yeah, I know a lot of like female superheroes can do that. Oftentimes it's when they have power, but like I kind of have like I just found it super like unrealistic, especially like how like not menacing Anne Hathaway looks and like she's not like very like she's not like one of those girls in a movie where you could imagine like beating up everyone. Like that's like one problem I have with it. Also, I think it's definitely like the messiest Batman movie. Some of the choreography in terms of the fighting is kind of underwhelming. I really, really like Bane. I do really like this movie. I think it's a very good movie at a 3.5 star, but I think it's the weakest of the Batman trilogy. But I do like how it concludes. I really like how it
So
Yeah.
concludes the trilogy.
yeah, I'm fully with you. This is the weakest of the Batman trilogy. It's the only non-elite part of the trilogy. For me, I was so disappointed when I rewatched this movie because I actually didn't remember much. I remembered the big scenes. I remember the ending. I remembered the football scene. I remembered like the reactor chase kind of thing, but I didn't remember a lot of the in between. And one of the parts I didn't fully remember, and my biggest issue with this movie that honestly brought it from like a high 4.25 to a low 4, is what they did to Bane's character. It is a tragedy. Bane was so menacing. I saw a tweet that I retweeted on Twitter earlier, um, or I guess on X. Um, Agamemnon today or yesterday is the most aura I've seen in a movie since Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. Bane had so much damn aura in this movie. He was menacing. He was destroying Batman in fights. He had like this mystique. At one point, you thought that he was the man that climbed up and out of the hole. This guy has aura. And then he's just one of Talia's goons who didn't even climb up out himself, but he was the guy that saved Talia, and he turns into like a dog on a leash. Like when Talia's sitting there and like kind of like petting him almost, like fixing up his mask, and he's sitting there like a dog. It genuinely made me angry. And I'm very happy that that's not what I walked away with the movie because the ending of this movie is generationally good. Like, I love the damn ending. It's so perfect. The last 10 minutes of this movie are generational, like a perfect ending to a trilogy. But that decision they made with Bane's character pissed me off so damn badly. And it doesn't take away from the really cool scene at the football stadium with the Star Spangled Banner. It's one of my favorite scenes ever. It doesn't take away from the ending. And I think the beginning, again, the beginning's the beginning. Not the beginning in the sense the Bane scene. That scene was really cool on the plane, especially like when they're like kind of upside down in the plane. But the beginning when you get reintroduced to Bruce was also a bit lackluster. So yeah, overall, I agree with you, Yoni. Messy is a good word to describe it.
Yeah, I would agree with that about Bane. Everyone talks about Bane as like this great villain, and I think he is for most of the movie, and then
Yep.
he kind of gets character assassinated. And part of that is because Talia al Ghul is terrible, and
Just comes out of nowhere.
Marianne Cotillard, I just again, this is why I said it after Inception. I was going to talk about it again. I just don't think she's a very good actress from what I've seen.
I don't
Um,
think it was the performance. I think it
I
was.
do think it was partially the
I
performance.
don't know
I
that.
think her line delivery is weird. I think she's not intimidating, and I think her deaths. Everyone knows the death scene where
Yep.
she just kind of like is talking and she like plops dead, like almost like cartoonishly. Like it's rewatch the death scene and it's like a joke. Like it's
I remember. I watched it. I watched it
really
a few
bad
weeks ago.
acting.
Yes, I remember.
Um, yeah, I just think this is just easily the least cohesive Batman movie in this trilogy, and I think it's a three and a
It
half. I
has
think it's
amazing
good,
moments.
Yeah, it does.
but also this might be a hot take, but like I'm not like the biggest fan of the football field scene.
Oh no, 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 no.
I think it's good. I think it's like a little bit, I guess.
The
I,
clip that I sent you
I
guys
like
right
I
it.
after
think it's a
watching
little
this
bit
movie,
silly.
I think it's
what?
a little bit silly is the right word, but I do
Not at
like it.
all for me. It's chilling when you hear the kids singing Star Spangled Banner and as Bane's
Yeah,
walking
but the
by.
actual thing when the fucking field is disintegrating while
And
they're still
and the
playing, it's
kick
like
return is running it. That was
that
sick.
looks silly. That
That
looks
was
silly.
sick to me. And by the way, Nolan actually blew up like ground for that. Have you seen
It
that?
still looks silly, and to me it was
Nolan does it
totally out
again.
of touch with the rest of the film or rest of the trilogy.
But
It
yeah,
felt
this
like they
movie,
wanted to up the hospital scene in The
yeah.
Dark Knight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
The
This
one up.
movie has a few issues, and it is it is in my tier 4. But again, still a 4-star movie. The ending's amazing, and Bane is a sick character for 95% of the movie. Okay. Here we go. Um the next movie that he made 2 years later is the best looking movie ever. The most
No, it's
emotional, one
not.
of the most emotional movies ever.
Oh, it's not.
One of the best stories ever.
Nope.
One of the
Maybe.
best. Plain and
Maybe.
simple, the best movie ever created, and it's on this much of a tier above everything else, Interstellar. I have
No.
this as the, I don't even know, I guess it's in the same tier as The Dark Knight. Yeah, because they're both, for me, top 3 movies ever. But Interstellar is the greatest movie ever.
I mean, this is crazy because I'm putting Interstellar at two. I think it's an amazing movie. But the way that I feel like I talk about it on this podcast, you would think I'm not that big of a fan of it just because I have to refute the things that you say. Like it's objectively the best movie ever. It's
Objectively, and it's not
objectively the
close.
best looking movie ever.
It's the
It's
best looking
objectively
movie
the
by a
most
mile.
emotional. Like it's like you say ridiculous claims.
Those aren't
Like,
ridiculous.
I have it
Yoni,
as a five
wait,
star.
well, we'll talk about. Give me one sec, Yoni. What do you have Interstellar?
This
Where?
is gonna come to a bit of a surprise to you guys, in a very positive way, but I have it at number three at a
Oh
4 point.
no,
I am
Yoni!
shocked.
I
I'm
think
glad my influence
Wait, what?
is rubbing off.
I've thought
Yoni,
a
I'm
little
so
bit.
glad the influence is rubbing off. The
I've
greatest
thought
movie ever.
I've thought a little bit more about Interstellar, and
Yoni,
Have
I've
you
so much
moved it
respect
up?
for you.
Have you moved it?
I might rewatch it tonight with
Yoni, please rewatch
my
it. It's
siblings.
generational.
Um,
It's literally it's
I,
the best
I
movie ever.
I think I was thinking. I think the Odyssey
You know what? I don't even have to go to the Interstellar thing. Let's just go to my profile.
is maybe a 4.5, and I don't think the Odyssey is a better movie than Interstellar. So I think Interstellar. Okay, your profile picture sucks, bro.
It's just amazing. Um,
It is. It no. It's
Shout out
not.
Lola to all the viewers.
Yeah,
Lola's a beast.
I'm
All right, I'll
responsible
finally
for
click on the
that.
movie. This movie deserves a review. I don't have a review on this. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm gonna rewatch this and write like an 18-page review on it. But
that's called an essay.
yeah, sure. I'll write an 18-page essay on it. I'm just gonna yap about this for a bit, even more. The character dynamics, the visuals. I'll go one by one instead of just giving because I know you guys always complain I just go too broad, and that's a fair complaint with my takes. I'm just gonna go for the visuals first. The space scenes in this movie are the best looking scenes of all time. They're literally mesmerizing when you combine it. One of my complaints that I mentioned in our video we filmed earlier with the Odyssey is it doesn't have as memorable of a score as some of other Nolan films. This is the most memorable overall score, in my opinion, in movie history.
Star
Um,
Wars.
Again,
Star Wars, Lord of the
Star Wars,
Rings,
I'll accept maybe Inception with time, but like
Lord of
overall
the
score
Rings.
for me, Interstellar is literally it's an outer body experience. I went and watched this movie in IMAX back in DC when it re-released for its anniversary. Watching that movie in IMAX is an literal like you're floating for 95% of this movie, especially in the space scenes. The story itself, going into the plot, is just so well thought out. There's like one part that Joseph critiques that might not be perfectly thought out. Every other part of this movie is quite literally flawless for me. Um, Honestly, I don't even have an issue with that. So this is a flawless movie for me. Joseph has an issue with it, but yeah, there's not enough words that can describe the greatest movie ever. It's just
I
so
mean, I think I was a
I
bit.
think there are some words.
I think I was a bit too harsh on
way
like
too harsh. I mean, look at this, bro.
on my disliking of
I'm
Who is
actually thinking
this?
about moving it down because Ellen Bogan has it at a five. If I'm agreeing with Ellen Bogan,
Oh my
don't click on his fucking profile. Don't give that guy. Shout out smaller creators.
I think I was a bit too harsh on like the
Shout
Murph
out Aki fan.
plot line, but
Okay.
I still that is my issue with it. I don't really like how Murph is like the one and only savior on Earth,
It's so
but
amazing. It's perfect.
um, I think I was a bit too harsh on it, and I kind of remembered some of the stuff that makes this movie so great, and I remembered why it is so great. And there's zero CGI in this movie, and Christopher Nolan
It's
actually filmed it in
He
space,
literally went to space to film this, bro.
so that's pretty impressive. Um, yeah. Also, the music is like unbelievable.
And did you know the black hole rendering that they made for this movie was so accurate that scientists asked for it after and used it? I'm not even trolling. You can look
Well,
it up.
no, they filmed at a real black hole, which was pretty
Okay, cool.
cool.
I'm so serious. It was that accurate that scientists literally used it for studying after. That's how good it was.
There's some unbelievable stuff in the movie, and I might rewatch soon. I might like it more.
I'm this might be one of my next rewatch. I've watched this movie I think 8 times in my life, and I need to watch it more. It's just
I
So yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's pretty great. It's a very special
and
movie.
then obviously a top five scene in history. Don't let me leave Murph, or not. Don't let me. Sorry. When he's watching the recordings back. Don't
I
let me
mean,
leave Murph's a great scene,
I
but
I
don't,
think
I don't think it's top five scene in history, but like,
with all of the amazing things in this movie, for example, the score is amazing. I think McConaughey is pretty great, even though I'm not necessarily as high on his performances. Like you think he's like the best one of the best performances ever or
ever,
something.
yeah.
I'm not in that boat, but I think he's pretty great. I just think the scale of this movie, it's just like kind of a it leaves you in awe. Like I think the shot where there's no score playing, I
When
believe.
it goes silent in space and it shows the rotating ship through.
When it goes past, maybe there is a score playing for this one, but like I'm quiet.
When it
When
goes
it goes
past the
past
planet?
Saturn, and
Yeah,
it's
when it
like
goes
you
past
see the
Saturn.
ship, and it's like very small
It's
and clear.
above the ring, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
to me,
exactly.
that's probably the best shot in the movie.
Probably. Yeah.
And while I do have some issues with it, I still think it's a 5 star because this movie is just like
I mean, look at some of
very,
these
it's
shots.
just a very
Are you talking
special
about this
movie.
one right here that my cursor's on?
No,
Oh no.
this is earlier in the movie.
All right. Looks like it's not on here, but yeah. I mean, like, wow. Yeah. That's enough Interstellar talk for today. All right. So after Interstellar, Nolan took a 3-year hiatus, and his next movie was dipping into a new genre, the war genre, and that was Dunkirk, which is the second most recent movie I've watched. I watched it right before I left and watched The Odyssey. So I have Dunkirk in my list at number 10.
Dunkirk is my 10 as well at a 3.5 star.
I have it at 4.
Dunkirk is my 9.
Okay. Joseph, I guess you'll lead it.
I mean, I feel like we have pretty similar opinions. I guess technically you're the highest on this because you have this at a 4, and
Yeah,
then
but
me
I
and you
just,
have
yeah,
it at
put
three and a
Interstellar
half.
enough.
But
I
like,
think I
I
can.
know, I thought it was good. I think it's kind of like a interesting take on a war movie since it's very like impersonal in the way the story is told. I don't think any of the characters, correct me if I'm wrong, that are like in the war
Mhm.
on the beach, either you don't know their names or you pretty much know nothing about them. And obviously you have the different plot lines with like the guys going out from England to help out in the boat. You have the pilots. I think it's a really interesting war movie. It's one I would like to rewatch because
I would
it's probably
recommend a
been like a
rewatch.
couple
I
years
noticed a
since
lot.
I saw it. But I remember liking it. I remember liking how it wrapped up. I did feel that this was one of those movies that I wasn't always fully grabbed by it, but there were definitely moments that I felt like did really work. So I did think it was a pretty good movie overall.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think that it does things well and it kind of shows the horrors of war and it does um soldiers and people that have served in war justice. And I think it is a movie that is going for one thing and it kind of knows that it's avoiding other aspects of like traditional war movies and like characters. And there's no problem with that. I think it's a good vision. It's just also, I don't think it's like a totally complete war movie because you have a lack of a lot of things, but it can focus more on the things that it wants to focus on. And that was just kind of the director's vision, which I don't have a problem with. So I think it's good. I think it's I think it's a good war movie. And I don't think it's Nolan's strongest by any means, but I think that this is a movie that you kind of learn to mature and you kind of learn to enjoy more over time.
That is exactly what I was going to say is I've completely changed my mindset about this movie over time. Before I rewatched this movie, I had Dunkirk in dead last of my Nolan rankings and a 3 star. I was very mad when I watched this because I was like, I wasn't a full Christopher Nolan fanboy, but I was like, I loved Interstellar. I'm like, okay, he has a war movie. Let me watch it. And then like, I remember my exact reaction after it was nothing happened. And that's how I've always felt about this movie, and I haven't rewatched it since. But I'm like, all right, I can't just fully have a movie that I think is his only miss and not rewatch it before our Nolan movie rankings. So I gave this movie a rewatch, and I just think what I so underrated about this movie is how Nolan brought together the ending by doing his time thing again, where everything with the order of events which he shows you things are not the order of events in which things actually happen. And then it all comes together at the end. The tragedy of Tom Hardy's character saving everyone, but still being captured. That shot that you can see right now of him looking at the plane. You have the characters on the beach ending up making it out. You have the point where they're inside of the ship, and they're like threatening to throw the guy that was French out, which was another theme. Like, if one guy has to go, is it the guy that's on your side but doesn't speak your language? So I thought that was an interesting part. And then obviously the main part of the entirety of England coming to help and evacuate people on the beach. a cool moment of hope. Um, so yeah, I don't think it was an elite war movie. I think it lacked a good amount of things, but I think it was good enough just to be a low 4 star for me.
Sure.
All right, next up, the most polarizing movie on this list, and you could argue the most polarizing movie in the history of all movies.
You could
And
not
it's
argue that.
Nolan's third
Not the most
best
polarizing.
movie ever, Tenet.
This is my
It's
least favorite Christopher Nolan movie. This is the only movie that I have at a negative rating at a 2 star. And I just think this is Nolan going for so much in
And
terms
achieving so much.
in
Yeah,
terms of
Joseph, what do you have it at? We'll discuss it in a sec.
yeah,
12.
please don't interrupt my Tenet
Now, you
review.
can talk about it. I was just getting his list, but you can talk about it.
Um, I think that Nolan shoots for the stars and he misses, and all of his weaknesses are shown here in terms of his dialogue, in terms of his lack of characters, in terms of his lack of ability to write great female characters. And I think that this is like a great representation of what Nolan does great and what Nolan his biggest weaknesses. So I think his biggest weaknesses outweigh the positives of this movie. Um, I honestly think having this at a 5 star and a heart is ridiculous
It's a
because
top 10 movie ever.
yeah, it's insane. But yeah,
Okay. So, Yoni's review that he just gave shows every weakness that he has as a film reviewer rather than Nolan's weaknesses as a
Ad
filmmaker.
hominem, the classic.
Yoni is a very weak-minded film watcher in the sense that he cannot comprehend certain topics, and as soon as that happens, it's an insta whatever two star movie, and he refuses
Bro,
to
this is
engage.
literally you're describing yourself.
Tenet is the most complex movie and the best plot in the history of film. Um,
Plot is bad.
it is unbelievable that I've said this, I think, one time, maybe 2 times now. It is insane to me that someone thinks of this. Like Nolan's mind is so
Yeah, but the
genius
execution.
that you can think of a plot like this, execute it as beautiful as this with some stunning visuals, and then also at the same time stick the landing with an incredible final scene is beyond crazy to me. You have the fighting scene where they're going backwards. I don't even know how the hell he filmed that. You have him crashing a literal plane into an airport because he didn't want to do CGI. The achievements that he did in this film and the plot that he thought of, yes, the performances are slightly weak. And yes, there are moments where the dialogue isn't fully audible because that wasn't the point of the scene, which nobody talks about when they're mentioning that. That is the reason why this is not a top 5 movie ever. But everything it does so well way outweighs it. And for you to have this as a 2 star movie shows your lack of being able to criticize film. If you can't appreciate what's good in this movie and give this a 2 stars, then you have no film comprehension, Yoni.
the
You
characters
gave
suck
Pulp
and the
Fiction a one and
dialogue
a half.
sucks.
Pulp Fiction's unwatchable for 95% of it.
The
It's actually
dialogue
one
in
of the
this
most
movie
watchable movies.
is
It's one of the
honestly
most unwatchable
horrible.
movies I've ever seen. But we're not talking about Pulp Fiction, so keep changing the subject.
It's not changing the subject when you're
Joseph, it's
doing
your
ad
turn now.
hominem on.
The dialogue in this is
Let Joseph talk. Let Joseph talk.
it's
I
really
mean, I have this at a 3 star. I think it's pretty mid. I actually agree that there's some pretty excellent things in this. I really like the concepts and like the mechanics. I think it's really cool and creative. I do think this movie looks really good for most of it. I like Robert Pattinson in this, even though he doesn't really like get a lot to do in terms of like,
Neil is incredible.
but
one of
I do like Robert Pattinson in this. Yeah, and
And
conceptually
by the
it's
way,
very
Yoni, look who
cool.
else is in this movie.
yeah, I don't like him in the movie either. I
Wrong
don't
again. Hamesh Patel.
Go back. However, that's about where my positives with this movie end. Actually, I will say one more thing. Some of the scenes in this movie are sick. Like the scene where the airport scene or yeah, is really sick. I don't know if you would call it an
Are you
airport
talking
scene
about like
or
the art heist scene?
the art with the
Yeah, the art heist
plane.
scene. Yeah,
That part is sick.
it's amazing.
And the scene with the blue and red is really good as well.
And then the final scene,
The final scene or the whole final like battle thing.
the final battle. Yeah.
Eh, it's okay.
Son, oh my God, it's one of the best final battles ever.
Um,
And then you also have
I
the whole
largely
plot with
agree.
Sador.
Sador
It's
is Sador
Sador is an
sucks.
unreal
No, he
villain.
sucks.
It's an unreal villain.
Um,
Kenneth Branagh Take a bow.
He
Is
sucks.
Sador a top five character in fiction?
No, but he's very damn good, and he does his job
I'll
nicely.
just explain like my negatives of this movie. Sador is one of them. He's just like not a very good villain. He's basically like, you know,
He's
a very
exactly
standard.
What Joseph claims Sador is exactly what Marcellus Williams is. Big bad evil dude.
That's not his
Marcellus
name. And
Williams?
Marcellus Wallace is also in way less of the movie than Sador.
Okay, bro.
And he's not presented as like the villain of the movie. Sador is like a pretty generic villain whose, mindset is obviously just like power no matter the cost. Power is overrides anything. And I really think that fucking Kenneth Branagh, who is a good actor by the way, his Russian accent's kind of stupid. Obviously if you didn't know he's English, not fucking Russian, which you can pretty easily tell in the movie. I also think that the dialogue is just like literally exposition, 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 exposition.
You
Like
have to
you will
explain the
have
concept.
but if 80% of the dialogue
It's
is
not
explaining the
80%. It's
movie's
like
own mechanics, the dialogue itself isn't serving a legitimate purpose that enhances the characters.
also,
The
we haven't
characters
mentioned
just
it.
act
We haven't
as
mentioned it.
that.
The opening scene.
It's decent. It's
It's
good.
not that
I'd
good.
say it's good. I'd say
That's
it's
how I
good.
know you're straight hating. That's how I know you're
I would
straight
say it's
hating.
good. I would say it's good.
Okay.
But
I
it
didn't
but it
really
doesn't
like
lead to much.
It absolutely does.
it.
Um
This is Nolan
The
at
acting in
this
this
is
is, I don't
Nolan
really
at his
think John David
finest.
Washington is a very good actor, to be honest, and I don't think he's that
You
good in
want to
this
know? You want to
movie.
know what I thought about whenever you kept saying like Pattinson, John David Washington, Sador. The point of this movie is for the characters to be dull. That's the point of the movie. It's
That's
not
a,
about the
that's a,
characters.
that's a stupid movie then.
No, it's the point of the movie.
Also, I don't think it's
I think if
I don't think
I think
Nolan
Nolan, if you asked
intentionally
him, would you
made
rather
these
your
characters
characters be
bad.
dull or them be like good characters? He would want them to be good
No,
characters.
he would want people to focus on the plot, not the characters, and that's what he
Two
did.
things can be true at once. You can have a movie that's heavily plot based and also have
It's
good
the
characters.
greatest plot ever thought of in movie history.
It's not
It's
remotely that.
genuinely brilliant. And by the way, I really struggled putting this with another film. It's literally like so close
Also,
that
my thing with this movie as well is that this is the prime example of Nolan doesn't know how to write female characters. Like when people talk about that, they talk about this movie. Elizabeth Debicki's
I mean, the
cat.
Odyssey literally just by the way, we haven't
I
talked
will
about this.
say it's his
The
best.
Odyssey mobbed you on that lazy take.
Except he didn't really. It's he did. He write Penelope?
Yeah, he
Homer
did
wrote
it.
Penelope.
He did it. I don't care. You mobbed
Um,
the take.
but I will say Penelope's definitely one of his best female characters. But Elizabeth Debicki's cat is pretty bad. I mean. Like Elizabeth Debicki's okay, even though I usually think she's like pretty good in what I've seen her in. I just think
She was great
like
in Gatsby.
Kat's
She was
entire
great in
motivation
Gatsby as
is she's
well.
a damsel in distress who always gets beat up, and her only motivation is her son. Like she has no character traits like as like a female character besides she loves her son and she gets beat up. Like that's literally
Okay,
her
I have a
entire.
question for you, Adam.
What's
Do
up,
you
bro?
think if Nolan were asked, would you want to make these characters better in this movie? You think he would say no?
I think he would say, "I want people to focus on the plot. I don't care what they think about the
Two
character."
things like The Dark Knight is a plot-based movie with amazing characters.
No, The Dark Knight is a complete character movie with
No, it
plot in
is
the
a plot
background.
movie.
Incorrect. The
The
Dark Knight is a
Dark Knight is
character
a
movie
prime example of a great
that
plot movie.
focuses on the struggle of Aaron Eckhart's character, Heath Ledger's character,
Dude,
and
their
obviously
plot,
Christian
oh my
Bale's.
God. A movie, you realize a movie can be a plot movie and still have great characters. It is not a character movie. The Dark Knight is not a character movie. A
Then
character movie is There Will
you
Be
are
Blood.
watching The
A
Dark Knight
character
wrong.
movie is
You are watching The
Phantom
Dark Knight
Thread.
wrong. You are
A
watching
good
it
char
wrong.
like a
Watch it
character
next
movie
time as a character
example,
movie, Joseph.
It's
a,
not a character
It
movie.
absolutely is.
a character study, for example, is like Raging
I didn't say
Bull.
character study. I
Actually,
said it's a character movie.
That's what
that
a
is
character movie
No,
is.
there's
That's the same
differences.
thing.
That's inside Llewellyn Davis sitting down in a chair in black and white for 2 hours.
It's not in black and
That's what
white.
a character movie is.
Yeah, it is. That's a good
It's
example of a character study.
garbage.
It's
no,
a
that's a
perfect
good
character.
example.
All
But the
right,
point
we're
is,
gonna move on from
a
Tenet, but
movie.
a clear difference. I have this as my number three movie and a 5 star. It's in the same tier as four and five.
I just want to say one other thing
They
about
have it at
Tenet.
12 and 13.
When we've asked Adam about why he loves this movie, he usually talks about like the Reddit threads he read after the
You
movie,
have to
rather than
research this movie. You have to research this movie.
if the movie requires you to do research on the
Doesn't mean
convoluted
it's bad. That's a lazy
on the
take.
convoluted mechanics that aren't
It's
properly
not
explained in the
convoluted.
movie.
That is a
It
lazy
is
take.
convoluted.
That is a lazy take.
And I mean, people point to the dialogue, don't try to understand it, just feel it. But that's such a cop out
That's what
because,
Nolan says. He says his exact words were, you know, when people say that, I'll tell them one thing: don't try and understand it.
yeah, which is a cop
Just
out. I
feel
don't
it.
buy into that shit.
Kind of stupid.
It's how movies should be enjoyed. You guys
I honestly
overthink
think
movies.
most of his
You guys
movies.
overthink movies. You guys
I don't
do.
think it's like a
You
super
should listen to
enjoyable
Nolan.
movie.
You should listen to
Uh,
Nolan.
okay, let's move on because this got
Yeah,
nowhere.
I do agree. We should move on. We have two movies left. I have four and five left. Yoni has two and five, and Joseph has also four and five. So I guess you can see by that these are similar movies in theme, completely different subjects. So his next movie, and this was the first Christopher Nolan movie I ever saw in theaters in general, even though I have seen other ones in theaters that were re-released, and that is Oppenheimer, which was really damn close to number three. Like it's interchangeable with Tenet for me. I think I literally spent 30 minutes sitting down about this, and I decided Tenet over Oppenheimer. But I have so much good things to say about it. Number four.
I have it as number two.
Yep, great take.
I have it as number four.
Yep. So we all agree
Um,
Oppenheimer over
I
Odyssey.
think this is probably the best biopic ever. I also think that it's
Yeah.
probably the best movie on like science ever, specifically the first hour. And I think that this is an incredible watch. I think that it's very impressive that he turned a 3 hour movie about science and a historical event
Into a movie that made $950 million
extremely
dollars.
interesting.
Yeah.
And I think the performances in it's incredible. I think it's one of the best scores of all time. I think it visually looks great. And this is a good example of a character movie where it's about Robert Oppenheimer. It's not a character movie about Neil and like
Again, one's a plot movie, one's a character movie. At what
Indian
point are you
woman.
trying to
Dark
make
Knight
here?
isn't a character movie. It
Okay,
has
that's
great
not what
characters.
Yoni
It's
was
not a
just saying.
character
What
movie.
point are you trying to
Acting.
make here, Yoni?
I'm just trying to bring up the fact that you think the
Try
Dark
and
Knight.
talk about a movie without bashing another movie, buddy.
This is also a good example of some good Nolan dialogue compared to like random Indian woman spewing exposition in Tenet.
Yeah, this is coming from the same guy that likes Pulp Fiction and thinks curse words is just funny dialogue. Like, get out of here, bro.
I think everyone loves Pulp Fiction.
I think Pulp Fiction is the most overrated, second most overrated movie behind The Godfather. But again, we're not talking about either of those movies here. We're talking about Oppenheimer. I'm with you. I think this probably is the second best acted movie, the best overall acted movie. But I'm sorry, Heath Ledger's performance for me just makes it like I know it's not the whole cast. That's a personal thing. I would say overall cast, the best acted Christopher Nolan movie. I think most of us would agree that.
Sure.
Um,
I would agree with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of us would agree on that. The visuals are the visuals in this movie. I mean, it's part of what makes it. But for me, it's the score. It's the second most memorable score behind Interstellar for me. It's just like that, the sequence at the end when he's like, "Did I destroy the world?" And then the montage of the nukes
The
in the
score
beginning.
is actually so good. It's not
It's
even.
Yeah.
insane. Like
Like
I
it's
think it's the best
it
score.
elevates the movie so much, which
and
is
you
what.
want a lot of people said like this is Christopher Nolan's magnum opus in the sense that
Yeah,
like
sure, sure.
this literally like was everything like people are like the Odyssey's everything he's been working towards. You could argue Oppenheimer was because it was so complete and it's probably I wouldn't say it feels faster than the Odyssey. And again, I don't want to compare the two because we've only watched Odyssey once and I've had almost no time to sit with it. But like Oppenheimer felt pretty damn fast for a
Also,
three.
Oppenheimer silenced the people who said Nolan can only make sci-fi action movies, pretty much.
Yeah, it did 100%. He proved he could go into different genres.
I think this is clearly like the best acted Nolan movie with the best dialogue. I also think this is arguably it's in the conversation for sure of if it's the best looking Nolan movie with the cinematography. I think this is a great movie. I've only seen it once, so I feel like a second watch, I don't know if it could have 5-star
Definitely
potential,
watch it
but
second. Watch it a second time.
um yeah, it really blew me away. Like no pun intended,
Son.
but yeah, I think it's great. And
Yeah.
I thought about its spot, but I feel like four is
Yeah, for me it's interchangeable Tenet. It's really that good. It's just an unbelievable. Seeing that on opening day, Barbenheimer atmosphere, absolutely sick. Great movie. All right, and that leaves us with the final movie that we just did an entire review on. So The only thing we'll really talk about the Odyssey with is
I
why
wonder
it's
where we're all gonna have it.
yeah, why it's where it is on the list.
We
So
all have it at number five.
we
That's
can see every single one of us. Again, I have this as a five-star movie. These two have it 4.5, and then apparently Yoni's like changing it to four. But we all have this as the fifth
I
best
changed
Christopher
it to
Nolan
a four
movie.
and a half.
What?
I changed it to a four and a half. I think it's a four and a half because of how impressive
So yeah,
everything
I
is.
have this as a 5-star. Yoni just has a 4.5 star. If you want full thoughts on the Odyssey, go check out our page down below. We have a 2 hour review on it. We posted right before this. But yeah, I guess we'll just talk about because we just did a full review on it. We'll talk about why it is where it is on our list. It looks like currently, again, ratings are going to be pouring in on this as people are seeing it during opening weekend and throughout the first few weeks while it's in theaters. At the moment, it's at a 4.3 average. Um, Again, the scale of this movie is insane. The reason why I have it where it is, and I have it, I was like, if it's a 4.5, it's in tier three. I just think it's like that much better than Batman Begins. I think it's on the level of Oppenheimer and Tenet for me. It's a high bar, but I think it is. And I just there's just it's unfortunate that it's not above Oppenheimer and Tenet. I was really hoping it would be in the tier with Interstellar and The Dark Knight. And I guess this is kind of an extension of the Odyssey review. But it was a little bit unfortunate to me that it wasn't in the tier one and it wasn't like a top five, seven movie ever. But again, I still very thoroughly enjoyed this movie and very worthy of being in the second tier.
Yeah, I contemplated this or Oppenheimer for the 4 or 5 spot. Maybe even a little bit the Prestige, like those three, but I kind of ended up leaning towards Oppenheimer. Again, we just saw it yesterday, and maybe if it sits for longer, opinions change almost always. Maybe on second viewing of both, they would also change, but I thought it was great. Like we said, I won't go into like a lot of depth because that's for what the review that we did is for. But I think this is for me definitely a stronger 4.5 than Inception and Memento, and more comparable to, I would say, The Prestige and Oppenheimer. But I feel like a fifth spot feels good for this, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I do think
So
Oppenheimer's a bit of a stronger, like I think it all ties together a little bit better. Not necessarily Nolan's fault because the Odyssey is a, fictional story. But I think Oppenheimer is a little bit stronger and like it's pretty natural to compare Nolan's two most recent movies. And
I mean, like, come on. Like, holy overlord.
I think the Odyssey was excellent to be honest, but we just did a whole review on it, so
Yeah,
just
yeah.
watch that.
We're not gonna spend too much time on that. All right. So that does it for our Nolan rankings. We have one more part of this movie. We're gonna cut this real quickly, and we're gonna be right back. For you guys, it'll be a second. We're gonna do some quick calculations, and we're gonna give our combined Nolan final rankings. We'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna cut it there.
I'm putting this into Claude
You can
just
put it into Claude. All right, I was just gonna put it into Gronk.
following is 13, Dark Knight is 1,
Yeah, but just yeah, let it.
Tenet
And
is
Loki, Yoni, you can reveal it like one by one.
yeah.
Like we're not gonna talk about them, but just reveal them. So just let me know when it's done. And say the average rating. Like ask Claude to put that next to it. Ask it to put
our
it in.
average star rating or
Yeah,
average.
average or sorry, no, average where it is, like top 13. Yeah, not star rating.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All right, we can begin.
Okay. All right, welcome back. Now that our Christopher Nolan rankings are done, we're gonna do a combined Cinemaxxers ranking. There's one movie that's gonna be way too low on this, but we'll talk about it a bit when it gets there. We're not gonna talk about them. We're gonna reel one by one. Yoni has the results.
All right, so at number 13 is Following with an average placement on our ranking at 12.7. Clear last place, not necessarily its fault. Insomnia at 12 with an average of 11.3 from us. The Dark Knight Rises at an average at the 10th spot. Dunkirk
Wait, could you just?
at 10 with an
Oh,
average of 9.7.
okay.
Tenet at 9. Pretty happy with this
My
spot.
God, that is way too low for the third. A top 10 movie ever is ninth in Nolan's.
It's
Well,
not a top 10 Nolan movie.
if it's a top 10 movie ever, why is it number 9 on our ranking?
Yeah.
You're just because you two are genuine like idiots, bro.
Next is Memento at 8. with an average spot given by us at 8. Batman Begins at number 7. I'm not gonna read the averages anymore just because like
No,
they're
I
kind
want to
of
hear the average. I want to hear the
okay,
average.
fine. Batman Begins, our average spot was 7.7.
Okay.
Inception at 6 with an average spot of 6.3.
Okay.
The Odyssey at 5, average of 5. Um, The Prestige at 4 with an average of a 4.3.
Mhm.
Oppenheimer at 3 with an average of a 3.3. Interstellar at a 2 with an average of a 2.
Love
And
that.
The Dark Knight at an average of a 1.3. This is honestly an incredible
I'm
list.
I'm pretty happy with this list overall. I don't really like Batman Begins being over Memento, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty great.
I think this is a perfect. I'm pretty sure this literally is my exact ranking right here. Um, I'm completely fine with you guys having these two interchangeable. I have them in the same tier. And again, I love everything here. This is a travesty from you guys. It's pathetic that you guys don't like Tenet. I encourage you guys to rewatch and then actually spend an hour or two researching and then come back instead of
So a
coming into this
movie is a
movie very
visual
I
uninformed.
will make you a
experience.
deal. I will watch Tenet 3 times in a row if you watch Attack on Titan.
Also, can I just say, the last time we watched Tenet, who was paying more
So
attention?
let me tell you what happened. Joseph's going to try and spin a false narrative.
What's
Exactly
the
what
false
happened.
narrative that I'm
Um,
gonna spend?
that was my busiest day of classes. I'm like, all right, bro, you haven't watched Tenet in like forever, right? It had been like forever for you, right?
Like a year and a half,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's been a while. I'm like, I'll just throw it on. We got to throw this on. And to be completely honest, like during a great scene, by the way, I remember exactly what scene, during an action-packed scene, so I know that the movie didn't lose me.
During
I
the Indian woman exposition dump.
Incorrect. It was during the I think it was during the when they were testing the gun downstairs.
When they were testing the gun with the
I
Yeah.
with
remember.
the
I remember
friends
that
on it.
part.
Yeah,
That's
you
like in
Wait,
the
remember where they
first
were
10
showing how like
minutes.
the gun works with the
Like the
ex,
first
reverse
ex
20
gun,
minutes.
exposition dump.
not exposition dump. But yeah, this Tenet is just a bit too low. But other than that, I'm fine with this list. He's the greatest director ever, and it's not really close. He doesn't have any misses other than following, but I don't really count that. I just don't understand how a man can be this consistent. And honestly, I'm not even talking to Yoni and Joseph when I say this. This is to Seth Films reviews. This is to Adrian. Adrian, you're a clown. For people to say that Nolan's not a top 20 director ever, and people genuinely think that, they're like, oh, let me put this guy who made Harkuri, or let me put someone from the 1942. Like,
Wait, so if they put Kurosawa above
yes,
Nolan,
yes,
that
that's the guy's name. It's
bro,
things like that.
he's like the most common
It's
number. Like
it's
if
genuine
you
things
ask
like that
people
where
like
people full-heartedly believe that those directors, not just him, but he was an example I gave, all these directors that are like performative from the 1960s that filmed by
how is that
Adrian says to
performative?
sound cool. He might not be because I don't know much about it, but he says
Kubrick?
all these performative directors. Um,
Like
Wait,
it's
Kubrick, in
pathetic
your
that
opinion.
there are genuine real people out there that think he's not a top 20 director.
There's genuine people who have a different opinion than you.
I
That's
think
pathetic.
one is exactly where it belongs. I'm not mad if you guys both have him in your top five. That's completely valid. This critique is mainly going out to performative people like Film by Adrian. Do better. Watch more Nolan. He's the greatest
I'm
director.
sure they haven't. Yeah, I'm sure that they haven't
They
seen
need to
all of
do better.
Nolan's movies.
Seriously.
wait, Adam, not everyone is a teenage boy in America.
Wrong again.
Yeah, are you gonna tell the Japanese people that they're performative
Yeah.
for having Kurosawa over
Again,
Nolan?
Kurosawa is one example. He
What
has like
about, are you
I
gonna tell the
watched this like
Swedish
top
people
10
that
directors
Bergman?
list and Nolan wasn't on it, and then someone commented Nolan and he replied not top 20. Like he's a genuine clown.
Directed by Adrian.
Yes, he's one of the most performative people on this planet. So
I
So
yeah,
don't.
anyone who disagrees with you is
no,
performative.
no, you guys disagree with me in the sense that I think he's by far the best, and you don't think he's even like one or two.
If we manage to like actually have him see this, this could start like an internet war. It would be pretty funny.
I mean, yeah, he's an absolute clown. Christopher Nolan's the greatest director ever. I'm glad that you guys have him in your top five, and I'm glad that the Odyssey lived up to most of the hype for you guys and all of the hype for me. Um, so I'm not sure what's going on with the screen share. Give me a sec. All right, there we go. All right. Thank you guys for watching my most anticipated movie or most anticipated episode on the channel, and I'm sure you guys had a lot of fun with it too.
And we
Um,
will be doing the Tarantino ranking next with
we will be
Adam.
doing Denis
Adam will have
Villeneuve
to watch every
rankings.
Okay,
single
hot take.
Tarantino movie in the next week.
We will be
Hot
watching.
take.
We will be doing the Denis
Death,
Villeneuve
death proof,
rankings.
death proof cinematography is better than Interstellar's.
Okay. We will be doing
Hateful
the
Eight
Denis
opening scene is
Villeneuve
better.
rankings
Hateful Eight
next.
opening scene is
I
better
need
than the opening scene of
I
Interstellar.
need to watch Enemy before we do that. But yeah, Villeneuve rankings will
We
be
have to watch
upcoming too.
Maelstrom and Polytechnique
Thank you again
August 32nd on Earth.
for watching this amazing episode. We hope you keep tuning in. And Christopher Nolan's the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there will ever be.